What if you had to start your real estate career over? I get asked this question all the time. If I had to give up the over $10 million of real estate that I own, the hundreds and hundreds of houses that I flipped, the millions of dollars that I made, the access to tens of millions of dollars of private money that I have, if I had to give up all of it, how would I restart and how would I build a real estate business again? And I spent a lot of time thinking on this question. And in this video, I'm going to give you exactly what I would do if I had to start all over again. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Austin Rutherford, born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida now, own over $10 million of real estate, flipped hundreds and hundreds of houses, made millions of dollars. And if you want to learn how to start your own real estate business, make sure you smash that like button and hit the subscribe so you can get all this content going forward. So starting over, if I got dropped into a city that I knew nothing about and didn't have the knowledge that I have today, how would I start my real estate business? And there's a few things that I would do. First and foremost, I'll go to Facebook and I'll go to meetup.com to find as many real estate networking events as possible. And I would go to every single one of them. People don't understand the power that these networking events have. Literally everything you need in the real estate business can be found in one room. Anything from private money lenders to buyers, cash buyers, to other wholesalers, to title companies, to banks, to lending institutions, to anything that you need in the real estate business can be found at these local real estate meetups. Well, what do you mean by everything's there, Austin? My first private money lender that funded my first flip for $250,000, I met at a real estate networking event. I was walking around, I was talking to people, I introduced myself to a lady, and at the time, she was not investing into real estate. She wanted to invest into real estate. So when I got a deal about a year later, I called her back and she ended up lending money on my first deal. So you can find private money at these places. You can even become the middleman in these deals, right? So there's wholesalers out there that have to go out and find deals, but then you got to have buyers as well. So you can connect the pieces. If you are a great networker, you can go out and you can build amazing relationships with these wholesalers and amazing relationships with these buyers. And then as they get deals, you connect the parties and then you can make a fee in the middle of that. The amount of connections that you can make at these local networking events is insane. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. So if I was new, I would go to every single local real estate meetup that I possibly could. The second thing I would do is to start driving for dollars, walking for dollars, or door knocking. Because at the end of the day, deals make money. So you need a deal to then make money. So I'm hitting the streets and I've made millions of dollars just driving for dollars. So what is driving for dollars? It's when you drive around a neighborhood or you walk around a neighborhood that maybe in the middle of the neighborhood changing from a really bad neighborhood to a really good neighborhood, maybe a lot of boarded up houses. Boarded up houses are great because people really want to get rid of those because they aren't doing anything. So figure out a neighborhood in the area that has potential of opportunity and growth. You don't want to go into the nicest neighborhood in the nicest city because there's probably not going to be a lot of opportunity there. But if you go into maybe a little bit of the inner city areas that people are starting to move back into and houses are being renovated, that could be an amazing place to drive or walk for dollars. But you drive around or walk around, you write the addresses down, and then you skip trace the numbers of the homeowners. So skip tracing just means that you find the phone number and then you call them and you ask if they want to sell. You can also go to truepeoplesearch.com and type in the names and the addresses and it will give you potential phone numbers as well. But if all else fails, and you can't get in touch with anybody, walk up to the house and knock on the door. Go knock on the door and say, hey, Miss Jones, I was in the neighborhood. Just curious if you want to sell your property. Maybe it's a tenant occupied house. Ask the tenant for the landlord's number, or maybe even pay the tenant $20, $50, $100 for the landlord's number. You know, you got to do whatever you can to get in touch with the right people. And at the end of the day, I know when I said like door knock, a lot of people probably got anxious. And I used to be very nervous about talking to people and putting my face in front of people and knocking on doors. Very nervous. But are you really going to stop your fear of knocking on a door stop you from success? Like that's the only thing that's stopping you and you're going to let that stop you from getting to where you want to go in life? Like, come on now. You can get through this. Like, punch through that. Go knock on the door. I promise you will get more and more comfortable every time that you do it. The next thing that I would do, and this might sound kind of crazy, but I would go to the car shows and I would go to high-end steakhouses. Why in the world would you do that, Austin? Because that is where the money is at. The money, private money lenders, other people's money are at high-end steakhouses, are at car shows, are at country clubs, are on the golf course, are at local real estate meetups. All these places is where you can get access to private money lenders. Because as you're getting into the real estate business, wholesaling is great, right? You take a house and you wholesale it to somebody else. You don't ever have to buy the deal. You just make money in the middle. But the way to make real money is to flip houses or own rental properties. And you need other people's money to be able to do that. So I would go to these places and just talk to everybody that I can. Become interesting so people are interested in you. Introduce yourself to people. Ask them what they do. People love talking about themselves. Let them talk up all about everything they do. And then they're gonna be like, well, what do you do? And be interesting so people can be interested. So say something along the lines of, actually, I'm a real estate developer and I teach other people how to invest their money into real estate. That's interesting. Well, what do you mean? How do you do that? And now your foot's in the door. So start having conversations about money so then you can be able to raise money for deals when you need money for deals. And I'm doing basically all these at the same time. One of the last things I would be doing is finding cash buyers to buy my deals. Because if you can't raise the money to buy it yourself, and you do have a good deal, you then have to wholesale it to somebody else that'll pay you a fee for finding that good deal. So you gotta find cash buyers. You can find a lot of great cash buyers at local real estate meetups, on local Facebook real estate groups. You can connect with a lot of people that way. But there's two other amazing ways to do this as well. Number one, connect with a realtor in the area and ask her to pull all the cash comps, the sold properties that have sold for cash in the last 6 months, and then go through that, and where you see duplicates of agents that represent buyers, you see their name a lot, that usually means that they have an investor buyer that's buying houses. So if they're buying a lot of houses, why would they not buy your house? So pick up the phone and call that agent and see if they have a buyer to represent to then buy the deal from you, and then you guys can both make some money along the way. Another way to find cash buyers is to use Propstream. Propstream pulls lists of cash buyers that are already buying houses with cash in the neighborhood that you could potentially be wholesaling a house at. So what better way to call people that are already buying houses than to call the people that are buying houses in the area already? But you can go into Propstream and you can type in the address of whatever house it is that you're trying to wholesale. And once you go in here, you click these details buttons down here, and then you click comparable and nearby listings here, and then you click cash buyers. So these are people that have bought houses for cash in your neighborhood. And then you can go to the auditor and type these addresses in and then pull their name and then skip trace those people through truepeoplesearch.com to get their phone number, to then call them and say, hey Bob, I see that you bought a house at 123 East Main Street. I have a house at 223 East Main Street. Are you buying more houses by chance? Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm looking to buy more houses all the time. Perfect. Can I give you an opportunity to buy this house? So again, like I said, what better way to find cash buyers than to call the buyers that are already buying in the neighborhood that you're looking to wholesale in? It's very simple. Like, call the people that are already doing the business. So if you want to get access to Propstream, there's actually a link in the description below. It does cost $97 a month to access it, but the link in the description gives you a free 7-day trial to test it out for yourself and to find some cash buyers in the meantime. So to kind of recap what my steps would be, first and foremost, I would go to as many local real estate meetups as possible. I would try to find them on Facebook, and I would try and find them on meetup.com. I'd go to all of them and network as much as possible. Then I would start driving for dollars or walking for dollars to find deals, because deals make money, right? So I would walk around, drive around, cold call people, knock on their doors, try and get in contact with as many homeowners as possible to see if anybody has interest in selling their property to me. All these are happening at the same time. I would also be going to car shows, to local meetups, to high-end steakhouses, and talking to as many people as possible, because that's people with money normally. So I want to go there and I want to network with those people to try and find potential private money lenders. And of course, I want to be building my cash buyers list. So when I do get a deal and I might not have access to private money yet, I can wholesale that deal to a cash buyer that I've already talked to and already built a relationship with, and I can wholesale it to them and make money in the middle. Don't overcomplicate this process. You know, a lot of people are like, they think they need to know like step A to step Z. You don't need to know all that. You need to just start, right? Once you start talking to people, talking to sellers, talking to buyers, evaluating deals, you get better at it the more that you do it. So yes, you can 100% do this business from nothing, with no money, with no experience, with no education. That's how I started. I know it's possible because I've done it. You just got to go out there and you got to take the right actions. And these are the right actions. And if you want a step-by-step complete layout of exactly how to wholesale, check out this video right here. We break it down to 100% in just 7 minutes. So make sure you check that out. Smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It would be greatly appreciated. It allows me to get in front of more people on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe and notification bell so you can get all this content going forward. Drop any questions you have in the comment section below. As always, appreciate you being here. We'll see you on the next one.